Nick, you had this team winning the championship.
I did.
Turns out they quit.
Yeah, I think listen, he should hate it. He should hate every part about how the end of this season went. Now, probably wouldn't have mattered. OKC needed to lose one. They didn't. Now, I guess you could argue, had the Mavs won on Friday, would OKC have felt the pressure? I don't think so. That was a game that the OKC's opponent wasn't playing their guys. They were probably out of it. But they were alive in Game 81, and they waved the white flag. And I hate it. I think he hates it. Do I think that is going to be the determining factor in his future? No. Do I think the fact that they panicked as a franchise at the trade deadline, gave up their flexibility in order to tie themselves to Kyrie Irving, is going to lead to their inability to field a championship-level roster next year? And could that then lead to the clock seriously ticking on his tenure in Dallas? You bet your ass I think that. The day they traded for Kyrie, I said I thought it might work out for this year, but it will be one of the first parts of the story of why Luka's leaving Dallas. They have not done a good job here. But listen, I want to be very clear because he is my large adult Slovenian son. I picked him to win league MVP. I picked him, all these things.
I don't hear
he
that
is not blameless in this. Your buddy Bill Simmons made this point, and he's right. If you are this level of player and you have a healthy season, it should be impossible to be this bad for the team. So he's got to wear that to a degree.
But
you don't
we
have to compete for a
seen
championship.
great players miss the play. Kareem.
Correct.
Right in the middle of his career. Now, as a big, they had to give you the ball, especially back then.
And again, 38 and 44. It's one thing if it's like, okay, we were mediocre. And Kobe, in the middle of his prime, missed for a year. So it doesn't mean you can't be an all-time great. But it does mean it's part of your basketball resume now. Just like with Kobe. People were arguing this weekend about Kobe versus Duncan. One of the silver bullet Duncan arguments is 50 wins every year and never missed the playoffs. Kobe, 3 straight years either out in round 1 or missed. So for Luka, this is a killer for him, even though individually he was very good on the offensive end. But yeah, he should be furious. He should be furious about everything that led to this and that they gave up.
I agree. And Wiles, you used the right word earlier. Quit. They quit. And one thing as a professional athlete you don't want to be a part of is a team, a group of players, a franchise that quits. Like even when teams tank, like when Philadelphia tanked with the process, right? They tanked by just signing players that they knew couldn't win. They didn't say, yeah, look, let's not go out there and win. You don't want that in your organization, in your culture. That's now in their culture. Jason Kidd clearly hated it. Kyrie, maybe that's why he didn't talk to the media. I don't know. Luka clearly hated it. And this is something that's going to stick in the back of his mind. And Nick, look, LeBron, I talked to LeBron early in his career. There was no doubt in my mind, this is like 2006, somewhere around there, that he thought anyone that you put with him, he'd win championships with. Mm-hmm. And he was not big on recruiting early in his career. And then the year Michael Redd and Ray Allen and all those guys were free agents, Larry Hughes, they ended up getting Hughes. He didn't go out and recruit these guys because he was like, I'm going to win. And when you're that level of player, all-time great potential, and you don't win after a while, the darts start coming at you. And Luka's entering that territory. And so right now he may be thinking, even though I'm not sure he's as happy as he said, he's still probably not thinking, I'm out of here. No. But as time goes on, and if they're not winning, not getting close, and that pressure starts to come on him, yeah, Luka can play, but can he win? Can he win? That's what's going to happen, and that could drive him out of here if they don't improve.
It makes next year as important of a season as the Mavericks have had in franchise history. Because next year will determine whether or not we look at this year as the aberration or the Western Conference Finals appearance as the aberration. And that will then, because here's the other part of it. If Luka gets antsy and it's clear and it's like, okay, the clock is ticking, then they are going to have to take the tough medicine that the Pelicans took, that teams have taken, which is, my God, we've got to trade this guy.
Well, the AD, though, if Luka demands it,
Yeah.
You still do have some time.
Yeah, no, you have time.
Because he's on the clock for what, three more years plus?
That's why I don't think this year, and I think even the story, Tim McMahon wrote the story, and what he wrote was people are worried that, it's what I said last week, that in a year, Luka could ask for a trade if it goes poorly. Now, Luka's saying, I'm not going to do that, but a lot can change in a year. A lot can change.
When Kyrie came to the Mavs, Dallas was in 4th place. Since then, 10-18 and vacation. He didn't talk to the media, but did post a heartfelt message on Twitter, thanking everyone for their support and love. But Nick, you didn't like him
Just be accountable.
The exit interview.
Just be accountable. Kyrie was asked about his future when he got to the Mavs. He said, I don't want to talk about that now. We will talk about it after the season. And then he bounced. Now, do I blame Kyrie for the Mavs falling apart? I don't actually. It would be easy to do because of the record with him and then without him. But I think it was a far greater issues than Kyrie. And Kyrie actually offensively.
One of them,
yes, but do I think he deserves the majority of the blame? Absolutely not. I don't. But you think Luka wanted to be there? You think Luka wanted to do that press conference? Of course not. You think anybody wants to do the, what do you call it, exit interview, press conference after a disappointing year? Of course not. It's part of being a professional. And there are certain things, Brew, that I would like if Kyrie, forget his future, about his thoughts on, hey, you were with the Cavs, you guys were in the finals every year. You then wanted to leave there, you went to the Celtics, who were in at least the conference finals every year, except for when you played when they weren't. Then you went to the Nets, and they were a round 2 ceiling.
That's why I didn't go.
And then you went to the Mavs, and they're out of the playoffs. How much of this is on you?
Well, you think he thought last year is where it started going haywire. Let me avoid it. No, look, Kyrie made a mistake. Kyrie made a mistake by not talking to the media because by all indications and reports, even though they didn't win, he was behaving fine in Dallas. He was getting along with his teammates. There were no controversies. Now, I know that 2 months or whatever it was doesn't override all the past. However, it did put it in the background a little bit. This just reminds you, yeah, Kyrie can be a problem.
Oh.
No, it does.
I'm not doing my interview. I'm not doing the interview. You guys quit. I'm not doing the interview. You want to sit me down?
You don't have a problem
I
with
wouldn't
it?
do the interview. No.
Why not?
First of all, I think it's a sign that he's not going to be in Dallas.
Where's he going to be? That's why.
I don't know, but I feel like he's not going to be in Dallas. Like, I don't owe you guys anything anymore.
That's why it's a
Season's
mistake,
over.
though, because
Correct.
here's the deal. All the teams with cap room, he's not going to want to go there because they're young, Houston, San Antonio, Utah, and they're not going to want him. All right? The only place Miami might want him, that would have to be a trade. Phoenix, if Chris Paul retires or whatever, they might want him. That would have to be a trade.
Yeah.
I mean, if the Lakers do well in the playoffs and they re-sign D'Angelo Russell, where's he going?
So I do think
he needs the Mavericks.
But hold on, Wiles, you played that piece of sound, and to me, from last year, that proves my point. I know some fans are like, oh, the media, self-important media, saying, why wouldn't you sit up there and answer our questions? We as fans don't care. That Kyrie exit interview last year informed so much of the discussion about the Nets, and it made us so much better understand why it blew up. Because it's like, oh, Kyrie believes he's co-owner, co-GM. Meanwhile, the team believes we're not even re-signing you, buddy. That then, when he demanded a trade, we all knew.
But knowing the way that played out, do you fault Kyrie for skipping?
Yes, because it is part. Listen, it is for good reason.
2 wrongs don't make a right.
Part of the job.
That's what it is.
And it is like
2 wrongs don't make a right.
These
they
days,
were wrong, the Mavericks.
Here's the. Sorry, I know we're late. Just give me 20 seconds here. These days, we can't, as fans, really rely on the everyday game product to be great because guys don't play all that often. So what keeps the interest of the league? So much of the soap opera, free agency, intrigue stuff is what gets the dollars churning. Skipping out on these things is bad for business. And we're all in the business, the players more so than anybody. You got to do it.
So what would you offer Kyrie quickly? I'm offering, if I'm Dallas, 1 year team option for a second. Max, I'll pay
Agreed.
you
Deal.
big
The
money.
max,
but
1 year max?
1 year max.
With a team option.
Team option for the second year.
I'm not taking that.
Yeah, okay, good luck getting something better.
Okay, I'm going to.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.